Harimi, harimi, al tirai, harimi, al tirai. Imri le'arei Yehuda, hinei Elokeichem. Harimi, harimi, al tirai.
Hello, welcome to Pirkei Avos with Rabeinu Yonah. We're in chapter 3 and Mishnah number 15. Gimel Tezvav. Hakol tzafoi. Everything is foreseen. Hashem knows what we're going to do. V'harshus nesuna. But nevertheless, we have free will. So even though God knows what we're going to choose, we still have free will. Those are two things that we absolutely believe in. Now, how those two things work together, that is a deep conversation that is not for now. But if you want to look, you can check the Rambam in his Shmona Prakim. The Rambam in his 8 chapters. If anyone is curious about that, please contact me. But it's a very long discussion. Ubetov ha'olam nidam. And the world is judged with goodness. V'hakol lefi rov ha'maisa. And everything goes with the majority of deeds. Let's see Rabeinu Yonah. Hakol tzafoi. Everything is foreseen. K'moshenemar, as it says in the verse. Hashem chakartoni v'teida. Hashem, you've examined me and you know. V'harashus nesuna. Shenitim biyad ha'adam rishus lasos kol asher yachbutz libo. Man, humanity has the choice to do whatever he wants. In tovim ra, he could be good or he could be evil. K'moshenemar, as it says, Re'ein hasati l'vnecha zechayim es tov es hara. Hashem says to us, I've put before you life and goodness and evil. So we absolutely can choose. Anyone could be the most righteous person or could be the most wicked person. V'amar Rabeinu Moshe, Zichron Levracha Rabeinu Moshe says, Kama hadavar hu min hamuflayim. Shafal pishor shus nesun adam lasis ritzono. Think about how wondrous this is, that even though that a person has a choice to do Hashem's will, and God knows what you're going to do before you even think about it or before you even do it. Still, even though God knows what you're going to do, you're not forced. You still have the choice. What your heart wants. But Hashem knows what you're going to want to do. So even if it's something that, it's a 50-50, you can go this way, you can go that way, whatever you're going to choose, God still knows what you're going to do, and it's still a wondrous thing. It's bewildering that we still have the free will, even though God knows everything. And again, how does that work? To that, you can see the writings of the Rambam and Shmona Prakim and many, many other sages who have spilled a lot of ink on this question, but it's absolutely true. We, in Judaism, we believe things, even though we might not necessarily grasp them right now, not necessarily understand things. Part of Judaism is that we do mitzvahs and we do things that we don't necessarily understand the reasons for. We don't know why a red heifer will purify somebody from being impure, from coming in contact with a dead body. But nevertheless, we believe that it's true. We have trust in Hashem. We have trust in God. That is part of our religion. It comes with a certain humility. Ubetov ha'olam nidon. And the world is judged with goodness. Shekadosh Baruch Hu eina dan es ha'adam lefi ma'as levad. Hashem doesn't judge a person only based on his actions, ach betuvo midas chesed, but rather with goodness and with kindness. Right? God could have if God were to be very strict with us and just judged us based on everything that we did, a lot of us would be in a lot of trouble. So when Hashem judges us, He judges us with kindness. This is what King David said, Avos Shalom, Chatos neurai upshai al tiskor. The sins of my youth and my other sins don't remember. Kechastecha zechar li ata leman tovcha Hashem. Your kindness will be remembered for me in order for your goodness. So there's two words of sins there: chataos, and psha'ai. Chataos and psha'ai. So what's the difference between a chatas and what's that and pesha? So the Rabeinu Yonah is going to explain these two different words in Hebrew for sins. So chatos hein ben hashgagos ben asdona sha'adam osa ben aruso. The word chatas refers to the accidental sins and the purposeful sins that a person does when he's young. When a person is young, his yetzer hara, his evil inclination, is very strong, and his mind hasn't fully developed yet. A person's mind, he didn't have the experience to know not to do X, Y, Z because of what could happen. He was foolish, young and foolish. So those sins are called chataos. Ach osam she'osa achar shegadol b'shanim v'hu shalim b'daito. But the sins that a person does after he grows up, and he should know better, Nikroi Peshayim. Those are called Peshayim. Elo Hamardim. Those are rebellious sins. Because really, you get to a certain age, you've been around the block. You know what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, you did it anyway. So it has an element of rebelliousness in them. So in this, King David confessed and said, Ben achatayim shebnu urai, whether it was the sins of my youth, ben hapshayim she'asisi achar shegadalti, whether it was the serious sins that I did after I grew up, al tizkor, don't remember them. Gam yal lefanecha zichroni letova, and also remember me for goodness. Lo kimiyud maaseh hatovim tizkreinu, don't remember me just for the few good deeds I've done. But rather for your kindness remember me, and the goodness of Hashem. Because Hashem judges the world with goodness. And even wicked people are judged with goodness. As it says, Tov Hashem lakol. Hashem is good to everything, everyone. And He has mercy on all of His creations. And even the wicked people are still the handiwork of Hashem. And nevertheless, it says that Hashem has mercy on them, like it's in the Medrash. So we're seeing that Hashem, when He judges us, don't think Hashem is out to get us. Chas v'shalom, Hashem's not out to get us, to just punish us, to make our lives miserable. But when Hashem judges us, He judges us with kindness. He always has that in mind. And He even has mercy on the wicked people. Imagine a wicked person who rebels against God and does all these sins. Even on such a person, Hashem still has mercy. And everything goes according to the majority of the deeds, even though the world is judged with goodness. But not everyone is equal in the amount of kindness they get. He's saying that the kindness that Hashem gives us is not the same. A person who is more righteous will get more kindness, and a person who is less righteous will get less kindness. Okay. Now he quotes the Rambam's explanation of that. Rabeinu Moshe Bar Maimon Zichron Livracha Garis. The Rambam has the edition of the Mishnah that says "Avalo al pi ha'maisa," not according to the action. Umefarish hakol lefi rov ha'maisa, and he explains what does it mean everything according to most of the action. Kamo inyan hatzedakah, for example, like charity. Kimisha nosen elef zuz, someone who gives $1,000 to tzedakah b'elef hamim 1,000 times. You have one guy gives $1,000 1,000 times. Zeh lefi rov ha'maisa. This is what it means according to the majority of the action. Avalo al pi ha'maisa. Zeh misha nosen elo zuz b'pamachas. This is someone who gives $1,000 one time. So the difference is that a person gave $1,000 1,000 times. That means 1,000 different times he inspired himself to do a mitzvah 1,000 different times. Versus another person, he gave $1,000 one time. So he only inspired himself to do that mitzvah one time. So obviously the person who did it 1,000 times is much better. So what did we learn? We learned that Hashem knows everything. Nevertheless, we have free will. We can choose to make our lives good if we want. We can do evil if we want. And we also learned that even when Hashem judges us, He judges us with kindness. And we're not all on our own. And that also everything goes according to the action. That just don't think that the evil person will get as much kindness as the righteous person. Even though the wicked person gets kindness, but one who does more mitzvahs will get more kindness. Okay? And as I finished, it actually started to snow in New Jersey, so that's very exciting. Wishing everyone a great day.